Welcome, guys, to episode 31 of the Two Beerded Guys. I am TBG _Ops Guy.
My dog being Q.
Our lovely guest today is
Krysha Matt.
And behind the camera, the one and only
Oscar Matt.
Welcome back, guys. We're excited for this episode. It should be a lot of fun. We have about 6 or 7 beers today. Krysha wonderfully brought us a couple, so we threw a couple of those in today, and we got a couple for maybe another week. So
I'm excited, and we'll get a chance to highlight where she's from, which is probably the best brewery in the city.
One of them.
Yeah.
Other than that, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about in general today. Some different things we want to make sure and remind you of. But first and foremost, beer that we're most looking forward to, the one I'm most excited for, is also the one I'm most scared won't be worth the crap, is the Jalapeno Kid. Cream ale with jalapenos and cucumber. I'm nervous but excited. Like, I'm really, really excited for it.
I am looking forward to it. Like, we did this Hot Ones challenge, so like I don't know much more jalapeno and spiciness we can do. But I think that blend between the jalapeno and cucumber is going to be very interesting. So
Is that the one you're looking forward to?
It's not though. It's not. The Sneaky Pop.
Sneaky Pop?
Yeah, a good. It's Scottish.
Mm-hmm. Scottish with peach.
Yeah, it's good Scottish ale with some peach in there. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
Krysha, out of all these, which one are you most excited for?
It's kind of fangirling to say the Sneaky Pop, 'cause that's one of my faves. But I'm going to have to go with Mischief Managed, because I love a good sour. So I'm looking forward to a good sour.
All right.
It's a sour. We'll hope it's good.
Hopefully. If not...
Do you have your bottle opener today, by the way? I left mine over there.
Always do.
Matt, which one are you most looking forward to?
Probably the Sneaky Pop, but also looking forward to that stout from the galaxy far, far away from a long time ago.
Yes, the Beer Hands Brewing Mando Blaster.
Mando Blaster.
So, those are some of the ones we're looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them, let's be honest. Yeah. It's beer, and hopefully good beer. It's really hard to complain when you get to do a job that just requires you drinking.
Right.
And talking about it with friends.
So horrible.
But Krysha's our guest today. We're really excited to have her on. We've known her for a little while now, so we're going to talk about some cool stuff with her, too.
Yeah.
First and foremost, though, make sure you follow us on all social medias. I'm getting this out of the way today, right away. Follow us on Twitch, Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Untapped. Check out our website. We have some cool blogs that John's been updating recently.
YouTube.
www.twobeerdedguys.com. We do our show live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So make sure you're following us all those. Smash the like button. Subscribe to our channels. It helps us out. The more subscriptions we get, the better we look.
Yeah, we really want to get to a point where like subscribers can be on Twitch and give us like $5 a month. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Won't happen, but it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
But make sure you're following and liking and following and Instagram and blah blah blah. I'm just gonna throw out random social media words at this point in time.
Because at this point we're probably on there. So.
Yeah, there's very few that we're not on. We're not on Grindr yet. I keep trying to get John to make one, but he won't do it.
I think that's up to Matt. I tried to.
I mean, technically, my Tinder does say follow us on TwoBeerdedGuys.com. I'm not even kidding. In my Tinder bio.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Hey, you know, if somebody sees it,
you have to. You have to.
But
figure out what they're dating before they meet you, though. Like,
exactly. You know, they'll be able to figure it out right online. They'll be real quick.
How long has it been, Tyler?
Shut up. Anyway, you're an ass. But yeah, no. So follow us on all that stuff. Check out our merch. Yada yada yada. But back to the show. And our first beer.
Oh, and
Matt, do you have anybody?
Yeah, I was gonna say before we get too far, we've got always Russell Owens on here. What's
What
up,
up,
buddy?
Russ?
what's up, buddy?
Tabs on says, "Wow, it's been forever. How goes it?"
Goes great, Tab. We missed you.
Dan Max says, "Hey, you all." I'm guessing we might
Oh yeah.
know why he's watching.
It's not like he's watching because of this, you know.
And Molly Baines, what's up, girl? Says,
Well,
Krysha
Molly.
looking like a snack.
Well, yeah, we put the beauty between the two beasts. It's fine.
Yeah, but she knows I'm torn between looking like a snack and having a snack at all times. That's true, sorry.
Krish is one of my favorites. I love it. Anybody else, Matt?
That's everybody so far.
Perfect.
If you're watching, make a comment so we know that you're there.
Our first beer is by Deviate Brewing Company. It's one of them Krysha brought us today. It's the Jalapeno Kid Cream ale, jalapeno, and cucumber coming in at 4.9% ABV.
Easing us into the night a little bit.
What'd you say?
Easing us into the night.
Absolutely. We always try to start with the lighter ones if we have one.
At least just one.
Hopefully this will cure my hot sauce hangover.
Oh my god.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard anything like that called.
It has to be, yeah. 'Cause I made it through the beer hangover from Saturday already. Like, this is strictly hot sauce.
That
right
one,
now.
yeah, that beer hangover was not bad. That was very.
So what they're referring to by hot sauce hangover
Yeah.
is the three of us, John, Matt, myself, and then a few others, did a Hot Ones challenge. We had 11 different hot sauces, actually, including the one from the show called Da Bomb, which, if you want to see a funny video and me be miserable, check it out on Instagram TV and on our Facebook page. And did you put it on YouTube yet?
Not yet.
All right, but it'll eventually probably be a short pour on there just because.
Will be too, yeah.
John likes making me look bad, so, you know.
I've had the bomb before and I did not have it yesterday because, like, once you have it, you're good for 2 years. You don't have to do it again. Which
That's
is
the house rule.
House rule. But I knew that roller coaster you were on.
That was miserable.
And so I started the video on your first bite, and I just...
Hey, I cleaned that wing.
Yeah, you did. And there was one point you were, like, ready to call it quits. I'm like, no, I'm going to catch this a little longer.
I was trying to just talk and hold my own and try to hold it together for the video. I felt it coming to where I was going to struggle, and I tried to get John to stop the video. He's like, I'm not done yet. So he recorded a little longer, and I held it together for the most
You got
part.
the milk. You were going for the milk.
But I was going calmly to the milk.
Yep.
Now, as soon as he turned off the video, I was slamming milk down like it was no faces
That would have
turning.
been the beer chug challenge.
Yeah.
Except it's milk, but
it doesn't cool off. It's like 10 to 15 minutes later, you're still, every breath out is just, you're just dying. Sweat, tears. John, the last time he did it, when he welled up and literally had, like, the heat from in his throat had built up in his tear ducts and was coming down his
and
face.
it was burning my eyes as I cried. And I didn't touch my eyes with my fingers or anything. It was just instant through.
It's 100% capsaicin extract. There's no flavor to it at all. But
Now,
I want to get this beer.
I know we'll get there. But there are, like, we're not just killing ourselves with the bomb. There's some really good sauces too.
We can talk about those later.
Yeah, shout out
Call
to
that a
Dicks.
cliffhanger. Yeah. Well, while you guys are kind of sniffing and sipping here, Charles joined on. What's up, Mr. Baines?
Charles.
Mr. Baines.
Says it's about time we got someone that actually knows what they're talking about on the show.
Because you sure as heck weren't that person, Charles.
Tab says she's back at college in her apartment this time, so
Woohoo!
cool. Moving on up.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
Moving on up.
Dan
that song.
saying deviate, starting proper. So like, it could be like a sun at the end of that. Tyler, it doesn't take much to make you look bad, Tab.
Accurate. Thanks, Tab.
I've missed roasting Tyler, she says as well.
I'm so loved on this show.
Yeah.
And then Dan joined on the hate train, says he pretty much does the roasting himself.
Thanks, Dan Mac. Love you too. You know, there's a reason we invited Krysha. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, we should probably hop on the can too. I forgot about that.
It's been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it does. I was forewarned before I tried this, like, think jalapeno cornbread, and it definitely has that smell. Like, it smells just like fresh jalapeno cornbread.
There's a little bit of spice,
It's not much spice.
but it's very, very mild. I think I'd like it better if there was a little more.
Really?
Just enough to
so.
get your attention.
I think that cucumber mellows the mellows it out a
Absolutely.
bunch. But yeah, because the jalapeno cornbread is pretty in your face jalapeno. So.
It's not over the top cucumber either, because some of those cucumber drinks can be.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm missing in this?
Yeah, I'm not a big cucumber fan, so that kind of had me a little leery on this, but it's pretty balanced. You're not getting the cucumber, like, all up in you, so...
That's what she said.
You're not getting the cucumber jalapeno.
Ah!
Oh,
see. Wait.
See what he did there?
Dad jokes for the win.
Yeah, what are you
You're
missing
saying
in
something,
this?
John?
Cucumber.
All your sales?
Jalapeno blonde. Oh, wait. I'm just thinking beers.
All right, so what did you start to say, though? What it's missing
Carb.
is... It is undercarb.
It's undercarbed. It's. I need more bubbly.
Especially in a cream ale.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
And I think with the cucumber and the jalapeno, just that more bubbly. would really set that off. I keep thinking that I might want some salt in there too, but I don't think I do.
I think I want it, but I don't think I do.
Because when
you answer your own question, talk yourself off the ledge.
Because when I smell it, I'm like, man, I really like a little bit of extra salt. But then I taste it, it's like, no, it's fine. It doesn't need it.
Yeah.
I just love how, John, you literally were like,
I know.
I want salt. No, I don't.
No.
No.
I
Well,
agree.
that was where my brain went.
Just a smidge extra on the spice, so it's not too up in your face with that either. But it's subtle. You get that like idea of jalapeno in here, but a little more would have been nice just to have that actual little more heat on the finish.
I think so too. Overall, it's a solid beer.
Yeah, it tastes
Krysha,
really good,
I mean, you've had it before. And you've had it today. You're the one that brought. What does it bring to mind for you? Or
It reminds me of fall. I love jalapeno cornbread with my chili. Like I always drink it with chili. So it definitely is a fall beer for me, which is strange for a cream ale. But yeah, this batch, like you said, and two, I did not can that one, so it is probably about a week old. Or
she's trying not to take the blame for this one.
No,
After
I
telling her
didn't.
she canned today, she's like, I canned today. Not that one. It was not that one.
It was the other guy.
No, I canned last Tuesday, and I actually did Hop Supremacy and Juicy and a bunch of different ones.
Ooh, nice.
last Tuesday.
So
But yeah, I think it's a good variation on the jalapeno cornbread because that cucumber kind of mellows it out just as
Yeah.
bad.
So, for those of you that don't know, we do rate all the beers that we have on the show from 2.25 to 5. 3 being our perfectly average. 4 or higher is that search out. I'll go somewhere to get this beer. 5 is that all-time top 10, top 8, all-time favorite beer at the moment you drink it. So you drink that beer and you go, yep, this is in my top. That's a 5. Going the opposite direction, under 3 is below average. You hit 2, you're still anything between 2 and 3 you're still drinking. Like, I won't turn down anything between a 2 and a 3. Under a 2, I start turning things down. You hit 1, I would much rather just drink water and stay sober. And that's, when somebody hands me a free beer and I go, no, give me a water, you were trying to hand me a very bad beer.
That 2 and below now goes on the Rob shelf.
Yeah, under 2 now goes on the Rob shelf. John's neighbor, who
Has been a guest a few times.
been on the show a couple times, likes to take beer out of the beer fridge.
When the garage door is open, he feels like he's welcome.
Oh.
So
I would say he feels compelled.
So we created a Rob shelf so we don't lose our beers we need.
Yep, Rob.
Oh, Rob. John, you start off scoring.
I'm gonna go I think it's fine. I think it could be better. I would like to have it properly carved up. I just see what difference that would make. The balance of the flavors are nothing. I think it's canceling the flavors out too much. So, but you're right. It does remind me of jalapeno cornbread. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna go 2.75. I would like, if I had this again, maybe on tap or just a different can that was maybe a batch that was carved up a little more. That could easily be a much better score. But I think this batch, this can, I'm a 2.75.
Krysha?
Preemptively, I've always rated things way too high on tap, so we've talked about this. So for today, we'll be using the Two Beerded Guys scale for me.
Yes.
This one for me is perfectly average for a DV8 beer, so I'm going to go with 3.
I'm going to go as well as a 3. I think it has a chance at being a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more carb, a little bit more heat, just a little more of a couple things. I think really has a shot at being pretty high. But for right now, I think it's an easy drinking. I could slam a few of these easily. It works for if you're mowing the lawn or if you're cooking chili. It's a nice kind of little bit of everything beer. So yeah, I'm going to give it a perfect 3, which gives us a TBG score of 3.
Of 3, yeah.
Matt, if you counted?
It's also helping with the hot sauce hangover headache. So just on that alone,
That's a
I'm
star
gonna give it a
bump right
small
there.
bit of a bump. I'm gonna go 3 1/4 because I think it's actually pretty solid.
3 1/4 just because it's
yeah.
helping his hot
But,
sauce hangover.
I mean, it's doing the
It's
trick.
got
My
medicinal
headache is
properties.
dissipating
I'm
as we
liking
speak. It's that combination of a little bit of heat there with the beer, probably putting my body back where it needs to be right now.
Yes.
Also, some quick catch-ups, too. Since Krysha mentioned the cornbread with the chili, John, that means to be a priority at some point soon will be some chili.
I'm getting that time of year. I'll make some chili.
Ah, yes. And Tab
Gotcha.
says, it's been a year, speaking of there's some celebration
Yes.
talk earlier.
Yes.
It's been an official year since she met John for the first time. She wrote it on a calendar. That's how important John is.
Tabby, you are a weird woman, and I love you.
Tabby, if with your permission, I'd like to tell a story of when I interviewed you. That would be amazing.
But while we're waiting on your permission,
Yes, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
but while we're waiting, no. So we just had a DV8 beer. We said that Krysha brought him for us, and we kind of talked about her canning. DV8 is actually is where Krysha's working right now. And what all do you do for him?
Working is definitely probably a misnomer. I literally go in when they need somebody to go in, so I'm not on the schedule.
That's an awesome job.
Yeah, and it's one of those where, hey, can you come in? Yes, no, and if you say no, Greg tells you he hates your face, and it's great. But Thursday is their 5-year anniversary, so Thursday, 3 to 9. This Thursday, shout out to DV8's 5-year anniversary. They are going to do a bottle and can release, so come and see me. I'll be a bouncer, so I'm going to be bouncing folks out of there, trying to keep numbers regulated.
Could
they have picked a smaller but more fierce person?
Probably not. So, but the two variants that they're releasing are called, it's just Scheming Demons, and it's a 14.7%. It is 2 variants. They're both aged a year. So they did a cherry and an apple brandy barrel for a year, and then they blended those for 1 variant. And they did a cognac and a bourbon barrel, blended that for the 2nd variant. So they will be 2 variants on.
Sounds tasty.
Thursday.
Give Tyler some cash if he's not doing anything on Thursday.
Yeah, head on
That
up
sounds
to
tasty.
3 to 9.
Send me on a-
to that fun.
Send me on a BWRUN beer run.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can't believe it's been 5 years. So, but yeah. Also at DV8, like I said, I'm just the go-to whenever they need somebody. I do all their festivals. That's how it all started. Greg said, "Why don't you come work for us?" I said, "Because I don't need another job." But here I am. So, just kind of help out. And
She
I've
gets to do the fun stuff when she wants to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've gotten to brew with them, which was amazing. Definitely a process with them. Very scientific, very exact, very precise, very secretive.
What's that like? Scientific, exact.
I don't know anything about it. But yeah.
Had Kevin on the show.
Oh yeah, Kevin. That's it.
Can I ask also, like, before the show, you were mentioning, like, something about them. I thought I heard you say 20 years worth of knowledge. Like, so they've been doing this well preceding DV8.
Yes.
It's just their current endeavor, perhaps?
Yes, they were home brewing for the neighbors, and they literally have kegs in their hot tub with ice, and people would say, "You need to open your brewery, you need to open your brewery." So when they opened, they actually didn't quit their day jobs. So they still worked at Firestone, kept their day jobs and everything for probably about a year and a half into it before they finally said, "Okay, we can do this full time." So now they're brewing full time, and they've blown out the wall into the shred it, so we've doubled the space.
I went in there recently and I was like, wait, this
Yeah.
is much bigger.
So I expect good things. But yeah, they don't want to be big. They don't want to distribute. They just want to keep making good beer. So,
Yeah.
And that they do.
and that they do.
Which I think that's some of the cooler thing about it is it's almost every time it's just strictly stuff on draft, and when it's gone until they decide to make it again, so
Yeah.
you can't...
If they make it again.
Yeah, the cool thing is like, oh, I had this really good beer, I want to go back and try something, but chances are good that beer is not there anymore, so you got to try something else, which is ultimately probably going to be something pretty good also.
Yep.
So you always have this perpetual wheel of good beer.
I think what's interesting about Deviate is the whole fact that they have zero interest in distribution. And when you have zero interest in distribution, you have 100% creative control. Well, okay, yeah, if you're going to distribute, you still got creative control, but they're going to want core beers that they can market all the time.
And repeat beers,
Yeah.
which they don't do repeat beers, aside from Hop Supremacy, of course. And now Juicy, which I'm glad is back.
So it's an interesting concept, and I'm really glad that, when we look at the indie beer scene, like, they're kind of, not even so secretly, kind of the, boy, that's the best beer place, because they just are off the wall, do whatever the hell they want.
That's true. I was saying, yeah, and I'm not just biased because I work there when I want, but yeah, I feel like they've definitely set the bar high, and I enjoy their beers.
Our next one
Yes.
is from Monday Night Brewing.
Looks like orange juice.
It's called Mischief Managed, guava passion fruit Berliner style, and it is.
Smells awesome.
I have no idea the ABV. I could have sworn I saw. Oh, 5.5. I'm like, I know I saw it earlier.
Ooh.
So yeah,
That's breakfast right there.
Mischief Managed is a Feuchter soured and fermented, no boil Berliner style Weiss. Fresh guava and passion fruit were added for secondary fermentation.
No boil?
Says no boil.
Oh.
Never heard of that.
I've never heard of that either.
So
Pasteurization is part
Is
of
that
it.
anything like the wild ales, or is that something completely separate?
Well, it does.
It's separate.
Okay.
Did it say what the strain was? It's not a
Ooh.
Brettanomyces, is it?
It's sour. It's not sour. It's tart. It's delicious.
Feuchter soured and fermented.
Ooh.
That is a little more tart
That'll
than
punch you
some of the others that
straight
we've
in.
had.
That is very tart.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
It's got good flavor.
It's not crossing the line to sour, like really sour, but it's definitely a strong tart.
It's the more tart that I like.
It's just
Oh,
towing the
I'm kind of
line,
a
It's
fan
a
of
pucker.
this.
Yeah.
It's a pucker.
towing the line of my tartness here.
What are you talking about? This reminds me of half the gosas you like.
That's what I just said.
All right. Well, you said you
I'm-
did.
This is approaching my tart
Oh,
level.
this is the one you like. I thought you were saying.
He's the one who said.
Well, I thought you were saying going past your tart
Oh,
level. I'm
no,
like,
no. This is the approaching level I like.
I think this is a little past my line. Just barely.
it's got good flavor.
Yeah.
It is.
Especially if you take a big drink, you really can get that flavor instead of just the tart.
And Krysha's not wrong. Like champagne mimosa. This.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah. Making this into a mimosa would be A, tasty, and B, danger.
Was it a Tabor one?
Yes, I got it from Tabor.
Damn it.
Why? Oh, trying to see if you could.
It's a teaser of maybe my score.
No.
I like it.
Just remember, check out our Tabor. If you've never used Tabor, we have our code on the screen today. Use it. It'll get you $10 off your first order. So it's hard to complain with $10 in free beer. Basically, it's almost pays your shipping. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest chunk of Tabor. So
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
black tie cap.
Listen, it's
Y'all invited me. It's all your fault.
what are the flavors again? Mango and
Mango,
or
guava, passion fruit.
It's guava, passion fruit.
guava passion fruit.
Ah,
No mango.
That guava, I
Mango.
feel, gives it that
Yeah,
color.
I'm really liking that. A lot.
Yeah,
between the passion fruit and the guava, apparently, like it kind of has a mango flavor to it. To me, at least, though.
Kind of a little bit. It's got that tartness of like that a raspberry or blackberry would bring. Obviously, it's not in there at all.
it's very tart.
Very tart.
Krysha, you love sours, you said. What do you think
I
of this
do.
one so far? Like, what about it?
I like that it's not a typical sour where they just make it sour to be a sour. If that makes sense. Like this one feels like it was done on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like an accident like some sours.
Yeah.
Uchi sour.
This
That's a
soured,
That's
so let's throw it in a
sour.
barrel and continue that.
But no, I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely like breakfast in a glass.
Yeah, it's tasty.
It'd be cool to have alongside like something sweet like pancakes and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Like sit there that sweet and sour kind of thing.
balance that out.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Matt, what do you think about it?
I think it's good for what it is, but I don't still think I'm the guy for it.
And we're just we just recently got you into sours, so
Right. So, and I can appreciate. I like the flavor of it, but it's just past. I think just over my hump of tartness that I'm like, okay. And I also
of tartness.
I also think that because of that, it might also be a little heartburn inducing too.
Oh yeah.
It seems
I'm
like
definitely gonna need a Tums
a whole
later
lot of
for it.
like citric acid that would probably like tear me up if I drank much more than the sample.
Now
I
that he
had.
finally got rid of all his
I know.
heartburn.
I was thinking the same thing too.
Yeah, I know. I was
Man.
like, I just need some more of that jalapeno cornbread, and then I'll be back in check. But
Good news is that's the only sour, so I decided not to tear you up too bad today.
But some of them we had like, oh, this is a sour, but like I don't feel like I would get that, heartburn inducing stuff. This thing, I think if I drank like a glass or more, I would probably be like in the fetal position, like just clutching at my chest.
Same.
Yeah,
And I don't get that like jaw sour. It's not like a
it's not vinegar sour.
It's
No.
pucker.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
puckery.
John, while Krysha's finishing her drink and then Matt has to do some dishes before we move on, before we do our scores even, we were talking about the Hot Wings Challenge.
Yep.
And you were dying that we stuck on just the hot stuff first.
I just really wanted to say dirty
So,
dicks.
what were the sauces we had earlier that you really liked? Did you have one or two that you really were a fan of?
So the dirty dicks. Dirty dicks.
He just really loves saying that.
Yeah, that's awesome. But no, it was.
I love Dirty Dicks in his
I
mouth.
love Dirty Dicks. But it had a lot of fruit in it, so I forget everything. It was like pineapple and mango and banana and it almost had a little bit of a sweet Asian zing from some B-dubs sort of feel to it, but it wasn't teriyaki. It was just tropical sweetness, and it was really good.
Just no heat, just a little bit of spice flavor.
Yeah.
It was one even after being torn up. When I went and got extra wings later that night, I got more Dirty Dicks. Like,
yeah. I came down, gave me some more Dirty Dicks, and it's fine.
I love the Dirty Dick sauce. I also liked the blueberry one that we had. It was the first one in the list that really had a little heat, and that gave it that little bit of heat. So you're really like, all right, this is hot sauce. Excuse me. And then so it was that this is hot sauce kind of feel. But that blueberry, we talked about it, like putting that on like chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Or putting it on
Pancakes.
just pancakes mixed with the syrup. Like,
Yep.
Prince would have been proud. That's all I'm gonna say.
it was tasty.
Real good.
What was the one that you and I just had on the side at the end of it too? That
Oh,
was kind of like curry-ish. That one was pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it was
It's
the one
just
you
good.
have upstairs.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't spicy, but it was just good flavor.
Scotch bonnet curry.
Yeah, the Scotch bonnet curry called Tattoo. Yeah,
Yep.
it was again just had a
Buy that
little
at Myers.
just had a slight bit of spice, but just real good flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, delicious. So
I didn't say the very first one, just the classic Blue Label hot
The
sauce.
Blue
I had.
Label,
That was
yep.
a good like buffalo sauce where it had a good amount of flavor. It was a lot kind of garlicky.
Yeah.
and we were talking about that second one that was all like basically really strong mustard.
Oh, the mustard sauce. It was
yeah, I remember that one.
Lantern, Pirate's Lantern.
Pirate's Lantern. Yep.
Yeah, that one was pretty good too.
It reminded me a little more of that Carolina style, that mustard based.
Yep.
And it was good too.
Point being, we didn't just kill ourselves with hot sauce. We ate some really good ones.
No, we killed ourselves with the last
And
4.
then we killed ourselves the second half.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We got a thumbs
Krysha,
up.
Yes.
it is your turn to go first on scoring.
Ooh. Do we know a price point on this? 'Cause that
Off
would
top of my head, I could not tell
I
you.
was gonna say that might influence my decision.
This was at least one Tater Crate a long ago.
I would definitely seek it out if I was looking for a good tart sour. So I'm gonna push it to $3.75.
Solid.
Yep.
Solid. John, it'd be me next, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Sorry, I was trying to look up if I could find the price point.
No, you're good.
Uh,
Check something too.
I did not buy it. I thought I did, but I did not. Must have been Matt.
Might have been. Looked like
Um,
a fun bottle.
I'm gonna give it 3.75 as well. It's just not quite a 4. I was bouncing back and forth, but I really, really like the flavor. I love the puckerness. So I'm gonna give it a 3.75 as well.
So this is one I like. Its pucker level is where I enjoy. Like I am my sour candy trifecta is Sour Patch Kids and Sour Skittles and Sour Belts, and this gets me up there. So I'm gonna go 4 1/4. I think it was delicious.
Sounds good. So that comes out to a 4, John? You're the calculator guy.
On the calculator, sorry. Yeah.
3.75, 3.75, 4.25.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing.
Math is hard. While he's doing that,
Fairly certain it's a 4.
Dan Max says he's pretty sour. And Tab says, yes, tell the story. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Also, she didn't need to put your anniversary on the calendar. She just remembered it because, John, again, you're that awesome.
It is a 4 average.
Cool. So go ahead, John, while I'm grabbing the next beer to pour. Go ahead and tell the Tab story.
So this is a moment in time where we're really kind of gearing up in Books and Brews South Indy for college kids coming back, and the director was like, hire people, train them up, and
Ooh, I'm excited for this one.
and I got word that Tabitha had applied, and it was just like she's like a Books and Brews super fan. I was like, oh, then I'm excited to meet her,
Mm-hmm.
And she came in, and like, I don't think she said a whole word during her interview. She was just like, this real cute little quiet mouse.
Was just a lot of like grunts and nods or what?
Yeah. I think she was
Me
a little bit. I just
Do you wanna
remember,
work here?
like, I felt so bad for her, but I was just like, I think she could do good. Like,
She busts her ass in the kitchen.
she does, yeah. But she was just, I don't know, Tab, maybe you can answer. I don't know if you'd interviewed before, and I wasn't interviewing very hard. It was just, you left an impression on me, and I was just like, you know what? Let's give her a shot. Let's go. She didn't say anything, but whatever.
I'll tell you what, that event, I had to work out there right after we sold it to...
Yeah, the football game.
Yeah. I'm in the kitchen by myself. I'm trying to prep because we have this massive buffet-style event we're putting on out there. And I'm by myself trying to prep things. Just prep. And they're like, hey, you have 2 people. They're decent, but they're new. Have fun. And I'm like, ha. So they get there, and I'm still prepping, and they both, basically led by Tab, hopped in and just got on it so much. They basically kicked me out of the kitchen. I was able to go 10 bar. I was like, yes!
Yeah.
They're like, we got this. And I'm like, yes, you do. See ya.
Yeah, that was like maybe 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
To both of them working there.
They all rocked
They
it.
work like 4 shifts.
Yeah, they both rocked it. The next beer is by Austin Brothers, which I've had a few beers by them. It's out of Michigan.
This is a craft growing synthesis.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always thought it was funny that Austin Brothers is out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Just because
I thought she
it's
did.
Austin.
I'll double check that.
No, it is, because I remember you saying we got it, and I was like, that's funny that she sent us a Michigan beer.
Yeah.
But it's the Key Lime Smoothie IPA. 7.2% ABV, 50 IBU. New England style IPA with vanilla bean and key lime. But yeah, it is out of Alpena, Michigan. I have not been to their brewery, but I've picked up a lot of stuff when I go visit my buddy up in Michigan, because it's up in this area, and I haven't been that far north. So
Up north.
up north. Hashtag up north.
Up north.
Thing about Michigan bugs me just because I wish we had it is they do the can deposit. So yeah, you have to pay for it, but if you turn them in, you get your money back. But in Michigan, I go to these big country concert events with my buddy, and people go around with trash bags and gather up all the cans off the ground and then take them in and get money for them. I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
I wanna do that.
Right?
Yeah.
I just want to go to a concert.
Oh, me too. I miss
I
it.
don't know.
Let's have
Alright.
a Tab fun fact. That was her first real job, she says.
Oh.
All right.
That explains it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
She
my.
came in and kicked ass, so congrats, Tabs. Proud of you.
Can I say with this, I was expecting a little more, like, on the sniffer. Like, it's
I
not
was
really,
too. Yeah.
For as green and key limey as the can is.
Right.
Shaking it up, opening it up a little bit, but there's not much.
It's definitely got that lactosey.
I want to hear what you say.
I think I know where you're going with that. Can I see the can? Is it supposed to be slightly sour?
No, I
Are
don't
you
think
gonna
so.
say that it tastes like a freezer burnt Edwards key lime pie, so all the flavoring is gone?
I'm picking up a chemical finish,
Yeah.
like something's gone wrong in the can.
Yeah.
Something's definitely kind of.
I'm getting a little funky.
And we did just drink a sour. We didn't clean a palate off after it, but
But that's not what I'm getting, because I didn't get this from the sour. This
Right,
is a
right.
chemical,
yeah.
and that was the cleanest sour we've had in a while.
Yeah,
Like,
it was really sweet.
there was no funk to that at all. This is like a chemical something.
You think it's vanilla, so you think it's extract?
It's vanilla bean. It says on the can.
It says bean.
You think they dialed too much with the vanilla and didn't
That
put
wouldn't
enough
get-
key lime?
It wouldn't give you the chemical taste that I'm getting. You just get over the top
It's
vanilla.
kind of lime zest, almost like the rind.
A little bit.
Is it rind or rind?
Rind?
I don't think it really matters, but I always say rind.
Kind of.
I tend to leave the D as silent.
Well, it makes sense.
There, I was waiting on it. Fuck you, John. Anyway,
You try.
you're a dick.
That's why it's silent.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know
I've
if that
had-
was on purpose.
I've had really good beers by them, and I've had some that
Yeah.
just don't quite live up. This one,
Like this one?
I think,
Is it
had a
stringent?
great shot.
Like my mouth's all dry.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, that's a good one.
Very drying. It's a drying mouth feel.
It's not moist at all.
No.
No.
Surprisingly for liquid.
It is more drying
Very-
than the sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still get it when I'm like breathing in and out a little bit. I'm getting that weird chemical feel. You get the vanilla bean at the very first taste. And then after that, I just pick up more of that. Like the very first taste I had, I got the vanilla bean. After that, I started getting more lactose and chemical. At least that's my personal opinion. We all know how much most of them care about that. So what do you two have to say about it? Because
I'm not really enjoying it. It's just there's lime there, there's vanilla bean there. It's.
We'll need another one.
I don't know if it's just not all that great.
I don't even know if it tastes that much like lime though. Like it
I
just,
don't either. And I know key lime's a little different than a lime flavor per se, but not that different. Like this just seems off. Like
Can I
you said,
compare
almost
some hot
rindy,
sauces?
almost like they
Like,
didn't
just
wash the
got a
lime and
bad
grated
flavor.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Matt said it best. He goes, kind of like those last two hot sauces. It just has a bad flavor.
like,
Yeah.
I don't wish to eat the whole wing. I don't want this whole glass. Like it's just, But much like those last couple hot sauces that had that chemical extracty thing that made it taste like hot burnt rubber, and maybe that's what this thing's trying to shoot for. Is like, hey, if you just had the last dab, drink this.
yeah, it might work actually. I wouldn't. I don't like the way it makes my mouth feel. It is so like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And it's more so on the back end. Like
Mm-hmm.
in your mouth is not bad.
It's almost like a
But,
licorice
Yeah.
finish.
It's
or
like
just
the
weird?
back end is just
In your mouth, it's not bad. It's at that finish.
that back end will get you.
True words.
Sorry, Dan, I had to.
I don't care.
I know. I just like talking to Dan. He's not here, but I'm still talking to him a little bit, you know.
It's called viewer engagement.
Exactly. That's it. Viewer engagement. Yeah, it's my turn to go first.
It is. It is.
I don't even know what to do. I'm glad I'm not first.
Well, we rate beers accordingly.
Um,
Not trying to be nice.
Buy the can.
by this can,
This taste.
this time, I'm gonna give it a 1.25. I probably could and should go lower. I'm giving it a little bit of a bonus because it's at least 7%. So, you know, minimum
Yeah.
you're going to at least have a good time if you drink a few of them.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it while you're doing it, but
No.
I'm going to give it a 1.25. I think that's where I'm staying.
I'm gonna go 1.5. I think there's maybe a little bit to work with there. Maybe. I think it's a good idea. I think it's like I would take this and I would marinate some chicken with it.
There you go.
I think that'd be good.
Did your chicken taste like ass?
Yeah. I think it would provide a decent flavor. Maybe. That's not what I use bad IPAs for. So marinate chicken.
I love it. Krysha?
I'm gonna stick with a 1.25 as well.
So it's 1.25.
We went from a 4 to a 1.25. Woo!
Hot and cold.
Yep. And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so, other catch up, Tab says, not to flex, but when I met John, he did call me awesome.
I did.
That's a compliment. It is. John doesn't think many people are awesome. Just kidding.
Should have heard what he had to say about you afterwards. Woo!
Rude.
And that's why nobody likes Tyler.
And that's why I'm in the middle.
It's not wrong. It's fine.
Alright. Yeah, that was.
Nobody loves me.
What's next? Another IPA.
I d-
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, we do have another beer coming up. Before we get to it, though, Krysha, one of the things that you and Dan are real passionate about is your dogs.
Yes.
And you've had quite a few over the years, and I've had the joy of meeting a couple of them, but you do mostly, or all rescues, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So where have you gotten your dogs from in the past? That way anybody that lives in the Indiana area or wherever.
Yeah. How long we got? Okay, I'll.
You're good.
Cliff Notes version.
We have time.
Okay.
You're fine.
It
38th
started
Street
out.
Bridge.
It started out with local humane societies, which is always a good option. And then we kind of branched out and wanted to do more grassroots kind of things. So we, I was the foster coordinator for a long time for a rescue called Every Dog Counts Rescue. It's an amazing rescue. At one time, right around Christmas, Dan came home. He was working at Sears at the time. Came home and I think I had 14 foster dogs in the house, and
Oh, wow.
that was a great Christmas. But then I found foster homes for them, and it was fine. Here locally, I love Every Dog Counts. ARPO is Halen's an ARPO dog, which is the Alliance for Responsible Pet Ownership. Our big ones that we do right now are through Across America Boxer Rescue. That's where we got Lola, our white boxer. She was a foster fail. She was not supposed to stay. I did not want a puppy, but that's a different story for a different day.
She's adorable.
She's ridiculous. And then another really good local one is Mended Hearts Indy. Wonton Taco is a Mended Hearts Indy dog.
Oh, is that where Wonton came from?
Wonton is a Mended
So
Hearts
they're
Indy.
who I should blame every time I'm over at Molly and Charles. Got it.
That's a Mended Hearts pup, which is a great rescue as well. Long story short, we really are mostly into transporting, which is a big thing. They take dogs from the south that are overpopulated and kill shelters, and they transport them north to areas where there's not as much population and overpopulation of pets. So if you sign up for an hour leg to drive, like usually Seymour to Indy, you drive them for an hour, hand them off to the next leg, and they kind of doggy caravan them.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
So we do that every couple weekends, and then Indy's a really great spot for an overnight. So usually we get them at 6 p.m. like on a Saturday. We love on them, we feed them, we crate them up, and then we get up at 6 a.m. and put them on the next leg of the doggy
I didn't know
underground
that was a
railroad.
thing.
I didn't
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, so
Did you just call it the
transporting.
Doggy Underground Radio?
Yeah.
I love
She did.
it.
Yeah, so transporting is always an option. Some people say, well, I don't have room in my house, or I have a really picky dog, or I just don't have the time. You can always do an overnight. It's 12 hours of your life. You can drive a leg. It's an hour of your life, and it saves multiple lives because it frees up space in a shelter so that another dog doesn't have to die.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah, but we fostered, I think, last we stopped counting was about over 400 fosters. I
Count
transported
that high? I mean,
Yeah.
not against you, but I'm like, I can't fathom doing that.
400.
I
We've
mean,
had
20 is
over-
about as high as I can get. It's not out of toes.
All right.
and I think we've had over 1,000 in the car at some point. So
Not at once, though, right?
no, I mean, we do
Clown
have a big
car.
car, but yeah, it's a great little way to help. And I will say our success rate, we've only foster failed 4 times out of 400, so we're doing
That's
really
pretty
well.
good.
We're doing
as
really
much,
well.
especially as much as you guys love
Yes.
dogs. It's
Yeah.
impressive that you only foster failed
Yes.
4 times.
Yeah, well, we had a max when we got married. I think it was in our vows that we could only have so many dogs. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we currently have just a couple. So, but they're both rescues and they're both lovely. So,
So if people are interested,
Mm-hmm.
and one way is obviously reaching out to us, we can make the connection. But what are other ways that people can get involved?
you can easily. I always say. Big plug is people say, well, I don't want a rescue dog because they might be broken, or I want a German Shepherd. Okay, go to Pet Finder, type in German Shepherd. You can pick your age, your sex, your location, and you can find a rescue German Shepherd. There's very specific breed-specific rescues. There's German Shepherd Rescue of Indy, who's great. If you want a doodle, there's doodles in rescue. You just gotta wait because they'll come up. Lola was surrendered at 16 weeks, my Lola, because she had too much energy.
Okay.
A
So-
16-week boxer. No shit.
Yeah, exactly. So she actually was pulled from a shelter because she had too much energy. So
From a show.
yeah, so they're out there. You just gotta kind of put your feelers out, and I'm kind of like that dealer. You can
Yeah.
find you what you want.
Now it's something getting black market tags.
So you just gotta be willing to wait for what you
Smuggling them
want.
on railroads.
Yeah.
You got a guy.
I know a guy.
I'm big into like when we get dogs. I've always been of a feeling you should rescue if at all possible. My very broken moron of a dog who I love unconditionally is definitely a rescue. One of my favorite dogs I've ever met is Wonton, who is the epitome of a broken dog and is an awesome dog that Molly and Charles are lucky to have. And then my buddy, his entire family have fostered or adopted from shelters his entire life. I think they've either fostered or rescued now like 20-some dogs, which isn't 400, but
No, that's still a lot.
it's just he got his from a rescue after that, and then our best friend got one from a rescue because he'd seen us do it, and it's cool. Even if you don't have room for a dog, Krysha's right. There's so many ways you can get involved, like she said, where it's transporting. Which
Yeah, it's
is there an
transporting.
organization that you do yours through?
I was gonna say, I think Lori's group is called, what's it called now? Like New Futures Transporting or whatever. There's a ton of rescue transport groups. But yeah, if you're ever interested in transporting, I told them that it will never fail in Indy because I will find somebody to drive an hour. It will never fail because I can do anything for an overnight. I can be inconvenienced for a day if it saves a dog's life. So
that's why that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in it, so
Yeah.
I'm here. I might as well get the information.
And it's
then,
literally on a weekend, usually an hour leg or an overnight, and we usually pick up somewhere south side of Indy, and then they leave usually from Whiteland to Zionsville exit, and they go north. So,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, New Future Transport, that's what it's called.
So yeah, even if you don't live in Indiana, stuff like transporting is something you can do anywhere. You can look it up.
Yep,
Is it New Future Transport?
I believe so.
That's the one she does it through, and then I'm sure there's a ton of groups.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
Some are a little more reputable than others, I'm not going to lie, just because we do make sure that they're all vetted and tested and all that before they cross state lines. It's illegal to transport dogs that are not properly vetted, of course. But it's a really great group of people, too, because it's about the dogs. So it's very little drama. They don't guilt you into helping. You can help as little or as much as you want to. So.
I love it. Thank you for the information. I
Of course.
appreciate it.
Always.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, I love stuff like that.
You're
So, and yeah, I know you're passionate about it, so I knew I could
Yeah.
count on you to give me
I
all
was
sorts
like,
of information.
Yeah, we can talk about this all day.
Hey,
But no, I never would say. You can always find a good dog and rescue. You know,
absolutely.
Awesome.
always.
I got mine from Hamilton County Humane Society, which they're awesome locally.
Absolutely.
They're a no-kill.
Yeah, and they're
They're
fantastic.
very, very low. They're very, very, and I
Yeah.
think they can classify themselves as no now, which is great.
They were saying with COVID they're kind of a tight spot
Yeah,
because people aren't going to go volunteer.
yeah. And it's
I believe
hard
that.
because they've got hundreds of volunteers that walk the dogs and clean the kennels, and but Rebecca is the director. She's fantastic, and head of the cattery is my friend T. Rush. She's head of the cattery. We can talk about this all day.
The cattery.
The cattery.
I love that. Our next beer
Yes.
is the Hazy Hero Hazy IPA by Revolution Brewing Company out of Chicago. You've seen some of their stuff on our show before, but we've only had the dark stuff on the show. We
Yeah.
did a stout and we did a barley wine, so we're going the opposite direction here.
I mean, they're around. They're in Chicago, so they distribute to here, and I had just always overlooked it as just kind of this big regional macro that, okay, whatever. They're probably, core, which is going to be average. But everything from them that I've had has been so damn good.
And if you live anywhere near Chicago, go check them out. I've been there. It's a cool place. And they have great food. This comes in at 7.3% ABV. It's a really cool can. I'm excited. I can't wait to get it on the can. And it's a little taller.
Is that 19.2?
I think so. It
fun.
isn't showing up in
I assume it's
the
a
normal
19.2.
spots. Yep, 1 pint, 3.2 ounces, so 19.2. That's math I can do.
For those who are interested, a lot of your concert places are getting craft beer in 19.2 ounce cans. That way they can justify the $8 upcharge for craft versus
Right.
domestic. For an extra 3 ounces.
The amount's finally matching up with the price, you're saying?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
No, not
There's
even.
definitely still a
It's not.
discrepancy. But
That would probably be a $24 beer at a concert.
Yeah.
Oh, craft beer at concerts, I mean, any beer, any drink at concerts is absurd. But craft beer or mixed drinks are just...
It's definitely at least an $18 beer.
Yeah, because it's usually $11 for a 24 ounce at Indiana concerts, for like a domestic. But craft beers are, smaller and more expensive. So, wrong one.
Oh. Gotta be aware of COVID.
I just don't want to drink up Tyler. Gross.
That's fair.
Love you guys.
so
Can.
much love in this room right now.
That smells so good.
Welcome to my life. It's fine.
Hazy smell.
Juicy on the nose.
Yeah.
Good lord.
It's like this one's not made mention of fruit, but it's like, oh, this one's the fruity smelling one, like compared to the key lime that had nothing.
Right. Does this tell you what hops are in this?
This smells like a true,
Citrus?
juicy hot bomb.
Definitely carved up well. Nice.
It does
head.
not,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I bet we can find it out
Oh,
in the future.
I'm sure we can. What are you talking about in the future?
Okay, so you
My
said
viewers are used to me looking on my phone.
something I'd like some clarification. You said a juicy hot bomb. So like via the Tabor and the gratuitous amount of money I've been spending on there since we started this show, I see like juice bombs, hot bombs. Like I don't know if there's a differentiation, but I'm reading the hot bombs is like it's gonna have that really IBU piney bittery kind of finish.
It depends on what kind of IPA it is.
Okay.
So if it's just a true IPA and they're saying it's a hot bomb, then you're going to get that bitter hop usually. if
I
it's
don't like.
a hazy or a New England, if they call it a hot bomb, I tend to call it just a hot bomb, but a lot of people call it juice bomb instead.
Definitely, because I've seen that one on there, so that's where I
But the reason I say hop still is because you're getting the flavorful, juicy, aromatic hops in those hazies. So it's still based on the hop.
Yeah, it's not a fruit extract.
I call it fruit more when there's going to be like an addition of fruit or something like that.
Okay, because yeah, someone I've seen, I got a little scared off because it's like this, crazy hop bomb. I'm like, oh, I've seen you use juice bomb, and those I've seemed to like, but I don't know if I like the hop bomb.
Well, so far I'm striking out.
Oh, well, meanwhile here, Russ said he's got to bounce out. Good seeing you, Russ. Thanks for checking in, sir. Good luck on the show.
Have a great show.
Later,
Nice chug.
bud.
Good luck in 10 minutes. Don't tell Tyler until after the show's done.
What?
Who's going to win?
Oh, it's not me. I'm good. We're not winning this time. I don't
Yeah, I
care.
don't think we're winning. Yeah.
Although if we do win on this one, I might be more pissed.
Yes, there was another Beer Life Chug Challenge, and we didn't do a very good chug because of hot sauce,
Yeah, we weren't in the mood.
But it was a $250 prize, the belt,
I
the
want one of those belts.
chalice, a couple beers.
I just want the belt.
That was good.
That was some poor planning,
It's fine. I wasn't wanting to take this one all that seriously anyways. I'm still a little mad about losing last time when I had by far the better chug.
It just hurts because Beer Life Helen was on the show with Russell last Wednesday, and I was messaging in, listening. I was just like, it's already over. We're going to win.
And you were talking mad shit and then we didn't do anything. See, I didn't talk mad shit
Left
for a
me
reason.
out to dry.
I didn't know you talked mad shit and I didn't talk any shit. So, your fault. This is tasty though.
We're trying to talk them into doing, they want to do this once a month for 12 months, and then at the end of the 12 months, all 12 winners have a contest, and the winner gets like maybe the robe, the
You're
wrestling
saying
robe.
King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to get a chug belt, then at the end of the year, then you'll go to Royal Rumble.
is.
Yeah.
The last man in the cage wins.
Not that he's a wrestling fan or
No.
anything.
I dabbled.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in 8th grade once, so were you.
Yes, exactly. And the winner's going to get like this custom robe, wrestling robe.
Oh, that'd be badass.
I
Like
know.
Ric Flair style.
Yeah.
Woo!
My alligator boots.
Hard to keep these alligators down. Rolex wearing.
I almost wish we would have kept
Gold
this a little
chain
colder.
wearing.
Do what?
I wish we would have kept this a little colder.
Anything coming out of the upstairs fridge isn't that cold usually.
Yeah,
And then we
sat
got
for
it
an
out.
hour.
No, it didn't sit for an hour. We got it out 30 minutes before.
Wait,
So I guess an hour.
7:52.
Yeah, it's been about an hour.
Time. It's hard.
Yeah, it's fine. Either way, it's tasty.
That's tasty.
Juicy.
What's the ABV on this? 7.3?
7.3.
Yeah.
That's
So-
an easy drinking 7.3.
While
Yeah.
you guys are kind of thinking on your thoughts here, and that's a dumb thing. But like Saturday before I came over and got smashed with John, I was at Googman House and I had a hazy.
I'm sorry.
I had their hazy IPA, which much like this, it was a good, smooth, easy drinking, quality hazy or New England, whatever you want to split the hair on that. But it wasn't a really robust, fruited, flavored one like I've kind of come to, lean towards or expect. So I was kind of I was being a snob with Reem. I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but I was like, it's not as juicy as like some of these other ones that I've had that I really, really liked.
We've really created a monster with
We
him.
have. We have.
Yeah. Thanks. I was content living my life on Keystone Light, and this is what you guys have done to me. Now I'm like,
It's all
whoa, it's
pretentious.
pretty. Like, it's good, but it's not great. Yeah.
I'd only give it a...
It's 3.5. But, as I look down my nose at Reem.
Oh my god.
But, so should I expect more of that fruit-forward stuff on most of these kind of things, or just depend on who's making what thing?
I think it depends on who's
Where do
making
you guys
it.
sit on this?
I think it depends who's making it.
The only thing I expect when it comes to IPAs especially, if you call it a New England or a hazy, it better be hazy in color. So a little thicker, can't see easily through.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be more soft on the palate with more either fruits or just that softer, more aromatic hop.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be overly fruity. It doesn't have to be, because there's so many different hops you can use for that would change the flavor profile. And then if it's a traditional IPA, I expect more hop bitterness, clearer, cleaner, traditional. So that's the only two things I really look at when I first think of it, unless they tell me otherwise on the can. Now, if they're telling me it should taste like, or these are the hops we used, and I know what those hops are, there are certain things I think about then. But if it doesn't tell me the hops or anything like that, or a flavor profile, and it just says hazy or New England or just IPA, that's kind of how I think about it in my head. I try to keep it as simple as possible because there's so many hops that can change so many different ways.
This one's got a really aromatic, like, juicy flavor to the nose, but on the tongue, I'm like, it's smooth, it's good, it's a well crafted IPA. It's got that hazy look, it's got that hazy texture, but I'm like, the smell, if it tasted more like it smelled, I'd be like, oh, this is, really, really up my alley. But now I'm like, it's a well crafted, it's good, but just not as much of my thing.
So, to oversimplify it a little bit, you're going to get a lot of that hop flavor and aroma when adding the hop at the end of a boil, and then potentially through a dry hop as well. So, the longer the hops are in the boil, the boil's going to take out some of the flavor and aroma. So, oftentimes it'll start at 15 minutes till the end of the boil, then 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even like a 1 minute addition.
Did you say simplified?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he went the opposite direction and simplified.
I understand.
Mine was simple. Hazy in color.
Yeah.
What's it look like? Is it
That
clear?
being said,
I went
what's it taste
simple.
like?
John's like, whoa.
I would expect maybe more 15 and 10 minute hops in this additions. Because it's not quite as big as you get from some other hazy IPAs.
Mm-hmm. But I like that.
So yes, I really don't know.
So, I don't.
That's tasty. I'm a pretty big fan of that. Shocker, Revolution did something well again.
Yeah.
John, it's you.
It is me, and I am going to go. I'm going to go 375 on it. I think it's
375?
really good. Yeah.
Krysha?
IPAs are my least favorite style, so I'm going to temper that. Put that out in the forefront. However, it was a hazy. I will say it was juicy, that's why I like Juicy Caboosey, because that juicy. And
That
I
is
do
a
happen
great
to.
name.
I do actually have a Juicy Caboosey, so it's not a misnomer. But I will say too that I tend to. I'm gonna go 3.25.
It's a solid score. Before I get mine, Matt, do you mind doing another rinse?
I figured we'll be taking a break after this.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we are, aren't we? We are at that time. Woo! Either way, my score, I'm going to agree with John, except he's wrong slightly. I'm giving it a 4. I will go find this. It's one of my favorite hazies we've had in a while that didn't do anything over the top. It wasn't adding a bunch of fruit. It wasn't a fruited hazy. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. This was just their traditional hazy, and it hit the spot. So I'll look for it again.
It's a quality example of what a hazy IPA should be. If I see it on the shelf, I'll buy it. I'm not going to go seek it out.
Yeah, same.
So what's it come out to?
375.
375. Woohoo! Solid score. That is going to be the end of hour number 1.
Did Matt give us...
No. So this is going to be the end of hour number 1. Now, Matt, what would you say?
No, this is the end of hour number 1. You already started it. It says we're done.
No, I just wanted to screw with Matt, too, once you said that.
I don't know. I'd go 3.5. It's definitely a solidly crafted New England style. Like I said, just personal preference. I would have gone more for that kind of juicy flavor in the profile. But
The fruity flavor, is that
Some
what you're
more
looking
5
for?
and 1 minute additions to the hot boil?
Perhaps. I don't know if to have that dialogue later. But I just kind of grown to prefer more of that. But this is really good for what it is. I wouldn't quite go as far as seeking it out, but definitely very solid. Another good effort from them.
Don't let him lie. He's just throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks at this point. I'm
Sounds
just
real
saying.
good.
And he's throwing enough numbers. I'm like, I don't care.
That is the end of hour number 1, though, guys. So we will pop off here. We got 2 or 3 beers left to go. We'll talk a little more. We'll have some more fun times. Everybody will make fun of me a little bit more. Matt still won't count, so that's what matters the most. But we got some great beers coming up. Thank you guys for watching hour number 1. We'll be back in 5 minutes or less. Usually less, but 5 minutes is probably the best angle. I am TBG_Ops Guy.
My dog, me and Q.
With us today.
Hey, Mac.
And behind the camera.
Oscar and Matt.
Love you. We ready to go? We're back. That's a yes.
It is yes.
I like it.
God damn it, Matt. Welcome back for hour number 2. We did add a beer, so we're pretty excited about that. We are Two Beerded Guys. I am TBG_Ops Guy.
My dog being Q.
The lovely.
Krysha Mac.
And the less than lovely.
Ouch. I'll scream that.
I'll say that's a weird handle.
Its handle's just ouch. Don't forget, guys, August is about over. Follow Offscreen Matt on Instagram. Because if you follow Offscreen Matt and he beats Hecubus,
right now.
well, then guess what?
We get
Free beer.
We like free beer.
Yeah.
On Insta?
Yes, on Instagram.
On
It is
Instagram?
Offscreen Matt. Yeah, so follow him, and if you already follow Nightcap with Hecubus, unfollow